He is? Ah, shit. Now, I don't want to get off on a rant here, but this century has gone through more changes than Cher in menopause. How do I judge a century? Well, pretty much by how it went for me. So, while I have to admit this was one of the bloodier ones on record, I did get those M&M commercials, so I'm going to have to say, as far as centuries go, this one came in plain and peanut, my friend. You know, when you look at it one way, very little seems to have changed in 100 years. In 1901, President William McKinley was gunned down by an assassin's bullet. Nearly 100 years later, we find in America where McKinley is still dead. People, have we not learned anything? I would say that life has definitely gotten easier, but that just might be the single biggest problem facing us as we begin the 21st century. No doubt about it, we've become soft. We're just not as tough as we used to be, even 50 years ago. For example, I was watching an episode of The Three Stooges last week, and I just don't think your average man today could take a hacksaw to his nose the way they could back then. Then again, it's just probably that the modern hacksaw blade is so much sharper and stronger. But then how do you explain the fact that you used to be able to hit somebody in the head with a ball-peen hammer? Not only would it not crush their skull, but it would actually resonate with the pleasant tone of a doorbell, huh? How do you explain that? Curly, truly a man for all seasons. But while individual Americans have become softer, America itself has only become stronger. I don't want to get too George M. Cohan here, but you got to marvel at how in one short century the U.S. went from being a backwater hick joke to a beacon of hope. You know, when we're not propping up fascist dictators like Pinochet, Somoza, Noriega, Duvalier, Trujillo, and Marcos, we are a true symbol of freedom. Let's see, how else has the quality of life changed over the last century? Well, I'm pleased to say that we've gone from being a country where a black man could piss people off by refusing to sit in the back of the bus to a country where a black man can piss people off by refusing to run for the presidency after winning the Gulf War. It is a start. And I think we've gotten better about preserving the environment, but I hope we didn't wait too long. I want my kids to grow up in a world where the Bengal tiger is not just a sex position I invented back in the mid-'70s. On the plus side, we are exponentially increasing our knowledge every day. Your 10-year-old knows more about computers than the guy who invented the first one. And with the development of the internet, the world is getting smaller and smaller, which is great when you think about it, because what the third world really needs is not better housing, democracy, and access to medical care. It's being able to buy Gilligan's hat on eBay. And politically, yeah, I guess the dignity of the White House has been a bit debased over recent years, but I bet if you scour the presidential archives, you'll find a written, detailed account of every blowjob Grover Cleveland and Warren G. Harding ever had. By the way, if you do get at those records, blowjobs were called sloppy yawns back then. So there you have it, folks. The Millennium. Warring and whoring, but never boring. A lot of good stuff, a lot of bad stuff. We may have changed the way man lives, but we have accomplished very little in changing the way he behaves. Hopefully, we'll do a little better on the next one. You know, it's been slow going, but remember, it took us 40 million years just to develop a thumb, and no doubt it'll take us another 40 million to get it out of our ass. Of course, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.